So we don't actually have a large freight engine yet, do we? Let's build one. To get started, you're going to need a decent stretch of track with a train station set to build mode. By holding the train casing and pushing left Alt, it will open this bogie menu, and from here you can select any style of bogie that you like. For this engine, we're going to go to the single axles, and we're going to find the small 020 standard. Now there is the small 020 trailing here, which can trip you up looking at the names. Just make sure that it is the small 020 standard. And we're going to place that right here. We're then going to scroll down to the quadruple axles and find the short 080 driver. And we're going to place this 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away from the leading bogie like that. We're going to go back into the bogie menu, back to these single axles, and find our medium 202 trailing. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place it on the 6th one like that. And this will be our wheelbase for this engine, a 282. If any of the bogies are the wrong way around, you can flip them by clicking the block here. Just be wary that depending on the axis that you build your engine, say north to south or east to west, the bogies can flip when you assemble them. If they do, it's no big deal. Just unassemble your engine, flip them the wrong way around, and they'll flip the right way around when you assemble it. To get started on the running board of this engine, we're going to need some headstocks, some catwalk stairs from Create Deco, some horizontal and vertical copycat slices, a black Locomotive smoke box, some diagonal girders from Design and Decor, as well as some normal Create girders, some andesite scaffolding, and some copycat panels. We're going to quickly place a temporary block here and put our industrial iron catwalk stairs on either side like this, placing copycat slices underneath and one on the outside like that, and this will just continue the steps right down to the bottom. We're going to put our buffer beam on this, so by holding a copycat headstock or any headstock you like, and pushing left Alt like with the bogies, it will bring up this radial menu, and you can just do a quick switch between any style you like here. So I'm going to use the buffers on the left and right, as well as a screw link coupler in the middle like that, and just break this block for now. We're going to place some andesite scaffolding along the front like this, and a smoke box on the front like that, and the same on this side. We're then going to place a blank copycat headstock on the top of the steam chest like this, with a temporary block on the bottom here, and a copycat half panel on the bottom like that, and just remove this. Same on the other side, blank headstock on the bottom, temporary block, copycat half panel, and just remove that. And we're going to cover these over with our black smoke box, and this will be our cylinders for the engine. We're very quickly going to need some black Locomotive pillars, as well as some regular black Locomotive. To fill in the rest of the running board, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 copycat panels on either side like this, as well as the Locomotive pillars in between the scaffolding, and one on the front to fill in that block. Behind the driving bogie block, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girders in between the driving and the trailing bogies like that. For the running board leading into the cab, we're going to place a temporary block up like this, with a diagonal girder facing away from the front, with a metal girder like that, a chute from Create, and another girder like that, and just break those. And we're going to do the same on the other side, diagonal girder facing away, normal Create girder, chute, and a normal Create girder. We're just going to give these copycat panels our black / loco metal, and this will be pretty much the entire running board for this engine. What I might do is I might add some deep slate tile stairs on the back, just like this, behind the girders. To get started on the boiler, we're going to need some copycat slabs, as well as some black loco metal smoke boxes, some Scorchia pillars, and some black boilers from steamer rails. Now I think I'm going to make mine copper wrapped, just for a bit of colour, as I'm not a massive fan of pure black engines. We may also pick up some copycat bites quickly, as I have a little idea. We're going to use the copycat bites and just place them in a full block like this, as well as our copycat slab. Oh please, just place normally. Like that, there we go. A smoke box on the front like this, as well as one behind. And then copycat slabs all around, leaving the back one open. And this is where our smokestack will go. Filling all of these in with our black loco metal smoke box. Now this idea I have, I think, is to give it some more cylinders. So we'll give it some internal cylinders and make it a 4-piston engine. That sounds good. We'll fill in these ones here as well. And I think for the front we'll use some flat black loco metal. Like that, just so we don't get that border. It doesn't exactly match, but you're not going to really see it that well, especially when the engine's hurtling along with a nice long train of sprues, or anything like that. We're going to pick up some half panels now, copycat half panels, and fill in the rest of the boiler. So we're going to use our stone pillar block here and place 1 boiler, pillar, boiler, pillar, boiler. So you should end up with 3 pillars and 3 boilers like that. Filling in these gaps with our copycat slabs. Remember to do underneath. There we go. And the other side like that. We're going to place 1 here and leave the other 2 open as well for some extra detailing. Using our copycat half panel, we're just going to fill in these gaps. So place them all along here like this, and just remove the one over the boiler like that. Going to give these some smoke boxes. And the rest of these can be filled in with our pillars like usual. Just like that. I think for this engine we'll use a copper capped oil burner and just place it there. Right click it to turn off the particles, as we don't need those right now. I'm also going to place a black loco metal smoke box here, as well as a polished black stone pressure plate to match the black and just give it a little bit of a dome. For the rest of the detailing, I'm going to pick up some Scorchia stairs, a cauldron, some more chutes, some more girders from Create, some toolboxes, some flower pots, some buttons, and a back tank. I'm going to place the toolboxes here and here, with the buttons behind them like that, and the flower pots behind these like that. I'm then going to place a cauldron here in this block underneath the boiler, a chute here on top of the bogey block like that, and a girder here underneath the last boiler like that. I'm then just going to use our back tank and actually let's grab some copycat slabs, not slabs, these ones, copycat half panels, and place them here like this and here like this. Remove this copycat slab here and we'll put our back tank there like that. These stairs can go here and this will be our top feed for the boiler. I'm going to use some copycat vertical and horizontal slices, as well as a copycat panel, half panels, and some grey, English spelling of grey, and some grey Locometal. There it is. I'm going to come under the scaffolding and I'm going to place 2 panels like this, with a slice like that, and another slice like this, and size it up by 1. Give all of this grey / Locometal, and this will be our semi-dirty Volshirt's valve gear for this engine. I'm going to use these copycat slices and just fill in the entire side of this up until these girders, where we will switch to our copycat half panels for the rest of it like that. We're going to place vertical slices on either side of the headstocks like this, and copycat slices along the front like that, just as a little handrail when coming up the stairs so you don't slip and maybe fall off. I'm going to do this on the other side now, so our horizontal slices all along like this, switching to our half panel when we get over the girders and chutes. The valve gear again the same thing, 2 copycat panels like this either side of the scaffolding, a slice here like that, and another one here, and size it up by 1. And give all of this our grey Locometal, and we end up with a Volshirt's valve gear. To fill in these copycat slices and panels, I'm just going to use the black / Locometal again, and just fill it in all along like that. Same on the other side. Like that. As well as these front slices here. We're looking pretty good. I think it may be time to move on to the cab now. Oh, actually, I've spotted this. Let's just give these some grey Locometal as well. And the other side. Let's very quickly pick up these diagonal girders and just place them on top of the steam chest like this for our steam pipes, because she was missing some and now she's not. For the firebox, it's going to be pretty much the same deal as my passenger 462 Pacific engine. So we're going to use some display boards, some colour matching pillars, a copycat slab, copycat steps, and some copycat bites, as well as a blast furnace, a fluid tank from Create, and a whistle like that. We're going to place our blast furnace here facing towards the back of the engine with our tank on top of it with the whistle on top of that. We're then going to place our pillars like this with the copycat slab on the front and give that a pillar as well. Our 3 display boards go on the sides in the middle like this, with the steps on top of those and a bite on front of all of those, and this will create a nice sloped firebox for this engine. Just fill in the pillars on this side, slab, and the pillar again like that. I'm just going to quickly grab this slash Locometal and put it in the middle like that, just to fill in that gap. I'm also going to put one here, and this is where our brewing stand will sit. And a depot from Create fills in this last block like that. These copycat steps along the top will get our layered stone, colour matching stone, just all along like that, and that will finish our firebox for the engine. For the cab, we're going to need some copycat panels, copycat half panels, vertical slices, copycat headstocks, some seats, some train controls, a window from Create. I'm going to use the dark oak as it pretty much matches the black. If you're doing a lighter engine, I'd suggest maybe using one that matches the lining. So for copper I'd use jungle, for white lining I'd probably use oak, or brass I'd use oak. It just depends on the engine that you're building. Also going to need some copper. Oh, we didn't grab the window. We're going to need some copper wrapped Locometal just to match our boiler, as well as some deep slate tile stairs, my beloved. We're going to place our seats on top of the girders here and here, and the train controls either side of the bogie like that. We're going to place our copycat panels like this in an L shape. Same on the other side. Place a temporary block here and place in our half panel like that, and a temporary block here and place our half panel like that. We're then going to, actually no, let's not do that, I've got a better idea. Let's use our copycat slices and put them here instead like that. Yeah. We'll use our deep slate tile stairs and cover it over. 1, 2, 3. Fill in the sides of the cab, the bottom 2 being our lined Locometal. The top will be our pillar block that we used for the firebox on its side like that, as well as these slices like that. We're going to place 2 temporary blocks here with our headstocks on the top like this. We'll fill those in a bit later. Place 2 more panels on the front like that with our windows. Place some half panels along the sides like this just to fill in that gap. You're going to pick up some black slash Locometal, fill all of those in, as well as the top of the roof. And a black smoke box, a black smoke box to fill in the gates of the cab like that. We're also very quickly going to use our pillar block and just go 1, 2 out like this, and cover all of these over with a copycat panel like that. And maybe we use, spelling went out the window, maybe we use some plated black Locometal and just fill in the floor like that. That's pretty much it for the engine. Just gonna fill in the front buffer beam with some of these red Locometal smoke boxes. And yeah, I think that's it for the engine. So we can move on to the tender now. Just gonna quickly place a half panel here and a half panel here for some steps. Have a quick look, make sure we didn't miss anything. No, I think we're good. Okay, tender time. We're going to need a bogie block, so I'm just going to place that down there, then remove it. Holding our train casing, we're going to find the double axle here, and I'm going to use the medium 404 trailing. It's not really technically a tender bogie, but I'm going to use it. I think it looks quite nice. I'm just going to go out from the back of the cab here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, like that, and then 1, 2, like that. I'm going to pick up these metal girders and chutes, placing chutes on the side of the blocks like this, and the girders on either side of those, as well as the middle, like that. We're then going to use our deep slate tile stairs again and place them upside down facing towards the middle like that. We're going to pick up these copycat half panels and just place them all along the side and fill them in with black / locometal. Now if you're wondering how I'm just able to place it filled in, if you middle mouse click, so select a block, but hold Control while you do it, it will save the data and it will just add it to the block when you place it. This is the same as signs. If you want to place a sign down with some pre-written text, you can do the same thing. It also works with the copycat blocks, which is how I can just do that. It will not work with placement assist. You see this thing here? It will only work if you physically manually place the blocks down like that. But it's a really nice little trick to have, just so you don't have to constantly keep picking blocks to fill things in. I'm going to put these on the other side now with my black lined Locometal, the livery matching block for this engine. I'm just going to place them here like that, and here 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, leaving a gap on either side. I'm going to control select these again and just place them on the sides like this. We're then going to use some copycat stairs and place them all along the top like this, stopping when you reach the end of the placed Locometal like that. Gonna need some blank half panels. I say that no NBT data half panels, and just place them along the sides like this, and extend it one out the back like that. Gonna grab our matching stone pillar block, and we're gonna place the first one like this, the last one like this, and then we're gonna make all of these middle ones this version like that, and just run that along. And this will create a nice little bit of detail in the middle there, just so it's not completely flat. We're going to use these filled in half panels here, like that, and just do the same for the other side as well, like that. For the middle undercarriage of the tender, you can use portable fuel interfaces if you do require fuel for the engine. I'm just going to place them in here like that, and then inside the tender, that's where you put your fuel tanks if you're using liquid fuel, or you would put your maybe barrels or chests here if you're using solid fuel. For the back here, I'm just going to fill it in with a metal girder, and then a black slashed Locometal block. this back block here we can fill in with our lined logo metal, and these stairs on the top we'll fill in with plain black like that, as well as that one there. We'll grab some copycat steps, place one here, one here, and one there like that, and fill those in with our pillar blocks like this. It's a very is it a B tender? A British Railway B tender? You see them on like the 9Fs. It's sort of similar to that, but not quite. For this little back platform here, we're going to grab a shaft, a valve handle, I'm going to use red, a toolbox, and some andesite ladders. Toolbox goes on one side with the shaft and valve handle on the other, and then the ladders go in the middle like that. We're really getting there, so I'm just going to use some black stone and some slabs and some stairs just to give it a bit of depth. I like using black stone for my coal. I find that coal sort of looks a bit flat, especially in this instance, but when you use the black stone it has a bit more of a noticeable texture on it, and I think it looks a little better as steam engine coal. Having a quick look in the cab, we're just going to use some black Locomotive smoke boxes and fill in these two blocks here. We're going to grab some train controls and a girder. Actually, let's not use a girder, let's use a pillar block. We'll put our pillar block here and our train controls there, like that, so we can reverse at a decent speed. The back here, we're just going to put some copycat half panels like this as a little step. Grab our headstocks, hold it and push the left button to bring up the wheel. Now this is something that you might see. This is a create feature. By holding the left alt, I'm actually opening this toolbox here, which can happen if you're working around engines like this. So just hold the alt button, click that button on the right there, and it will bring up the headstock menu like this. And I'm just going to put two buffers and a screw link in the middle like that. Use some copycat slices as a little handrail. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3 and fill that in with some black Locomotive. I'm going to use the red smoke box again, as this is our buffer beam, and fill it in like that. I think we're pretty much done for this engine. One of the things I may say is that this you can fill in with anything you like. You could maybe fill it in with some color matching buttons, or you could use color matching signs like that, or you could maybe use a placard with an item in it, maybe a flywheel like that, just as a little company logo or name, depending on what you want for this engine. I think I'm going to use my little brass teacup resource pack, so I'm just going to put that there, and two little buttons either side. It's so cute, I love it so much. And just place it on the other side as well, just like that. I think we're done for this engine now, so it's just gluing. Just having a quick look, making sure I haven't missed anything, because I do miss things on occasion, and then you have to go back and go over it again. But I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's use our glue and a temporary block. I'm just going to fill these in. and our temporary block, and we'll start to glue the engine. Now, because this is a 3-bogie engine with the leading, driving and trailing, it's not just a simple box glue and done, because physics will not let us drive this around a corner. It will derail, it's impossible. This is not a Steam and Rails or Extended Bogies feature, this is a standard create feature. Well, it's not a feature, it is just physics. Yeah. So we're going to place a temporary block here to start with, in line with the headstocks, and then one here and out in the middle of our firebox like this. Using super glue, we're going to right click that one and right click this one, and that will glue all of this front section of the engine together. Remove those. We're then going to go from this half panel, could we get half panel here? Actually, I think we might need those still. We'll put those back. We're going to glue from that temporary block to this half panel here on the... No, we're not. Ah, see, I tripped myself out already. We're going to place a temporary block here in front of the gate, and then we're going to glue all of that like that. And that should glue most of the cab. Yeah. So for the floor of the cab, we're going to use this stair here on the back, and we're going to glue it to this front half panel here like that. And the same on the other side. Stair underneath to the... oh, actually, no, let's not do that. We'll use this. We'll use the copycat half panel to that copycat half panel. And just make sure I've done the same on the other side so we don't leave that behind. Copycat half panel to that one. And then for the rest of it, we will use this headstock here to this half panel here like that. And that means that our trailing bogie here will be able to swing free of the engine, and we will in fact be able to glue this engine together and assemble it. The tender is very, very easy as it only has 2 bogies. This is just a simple click, click and done. So place 2 temporary blocks out the back like this from this little step, and one right behind this half panel of the cab, and just glue from one to the other like that, and that will simple box glue our tender. Now we should be good to go here, so let's just assemble it and have a quick look. Our bogies did not flip this time, which is always nice. There's a little bit of Z fighting here, it's nothing too drastic. You won't see it when it's flying across your screen at Mark 10, depending on your create settings. I don't think we left anything behind this time, which is really, really good. Usually I leave a little block unglued somewhere and we just kind of have to drive through it, but not this time. Way big bonus. Because this is a large engine, you will have to take care of the line that you run it on. Even this curve is a little tight for it. It will look... Ooh, the track's broken. It will look really, really weird if you try and drive this engine around tight curves. Like this, for example. Because of the way we glued it with our triple bogies, as well as the front bogie, like the driving bogie like this, the steam chest will stick out quite a bit. But on the straights, absolutely nothing to worry about. I sort of find this makes you think about what lines you're running the engines on. It sort of adds a bit of realism to the game, because, you know, if it's a small line with tight curves, you would, in real life, you would drive shorter wheelbase engines on that. You wouldn't, for example, again, hurl a 9F down that line. It wouldn't be able to get around the curves without derailing. So it just adds a little bit of variation in what you might do with your world. Yeah, which is really cool. I would use this in freight engines, obviously. Maybe like a nice long consist of wood wagons or a few ore cars or something like that. Just general medium to heavy freight work. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really do like this engine. I like the stairs at the front, just to get yourself onto the running board like this. As it is a freight engine, and you might have to, you know, come up and check a few things. It's not meant to look pretty, it's meant to do a job, and it does that job very well. But that's pretty much all for me at this time. I'm sorry this upload is a little bit late. I was away with family for Quizmos, but I hope you enjoyed my Polar Express short as well, and we may see a tutorial of that a little further down the line. Get it? Because it's train, because it's train. A little further down the line. Okay. Yeah. Please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated when gaming, and I'll see you again soon. Toodles.